All right, guys, quite honestly, one of the better decisions that I've made in life is to go ahead and invest in the truck that I want to drive and not just try to go halfway or, get something because it's cheap, but just make the investment. It improves my day-to-day life. You spend a lot of time in your vehicle driving back and forth to work, running errands, whatever it is. And when you are in a truck that you actually feel good about driving, that's fun to drive, that you are passionate about, it makes an impact on your mood throughout the day. At least it does for me, man. Maybe y'all can't relate to that, but for me personally, it does. And that's why I want to tell you about my buddy Jonah Bunch at Bunch's Diesel Performance. They are the premier shop that's going to help you guys get in the truck that you want to be driving, that you're going to be proud of, that's going to be what you want it to be, all right? Jonah can take you all the way from the first step to the very end of having your dream truck. He can and will. All you have to do is tell him, this is the truck that I want, the year, make, and model. He has access to used vehicles and vehicles that you don't have access to that he can purchase from. He will find the truck for you. He will make the purchase, and he will build that truck out for you as in-depth as you want it to be built out so that this is turnkey. You call Bunch's Diesel Performance, tell them what you want, tell them what your budget is. They find it, buy it, build it, and deliver it straight to you all the way through. It don't get no better than that, man. It just don't get no better than that. So I want you guys to check them out if you're in the market for a new truck. By the way, I would highly recommend, if you want a diesel truck, getting a older diesel truck. Instead of spending over $100,000 on a new one, you can drive a lot cooler truck if you go through this process with Jonah for less money. All right, so think about that. Another great thing about working with Bunch's Diesel Performance is I know Jonah personally. He is a honest, hardworking, awesome human being. All right, I've done a lot of cool stuff with him, and he is someone that I'm willing to recommend here on the podcast, that I am confident that you can trust him, that he's going to work with you, that he's not going to beat you out of anything or do any shady business as you guys go through this awesome process. He's going to make it fun and exciting, and you will not regret it. I can guarantee you that much. So we'll attach a link to Bunch's Diesel Performance in the show notes of this episode. You guys give Jonah a call, have a conversation with him, see what he can do for you. That's not the only thing he offers. You can go as deep or as small as you want to go with him and his team. Check them out. All right. Welcome, gentlemen. I figured we'll have some fun today on the podcast, We've been doing a lot of guest interviews on Wednesdays, but I figured we sit down for our OG listeners and look back on the history of what we've been doing together for the last couple of years and kind of just share some of our favorite memories. I have realized how many people listen to the podcast and watch the YouTube channel that don't even know what 3 of 7 Project is. They think it's just simply a podcast or, a YouTube channel. They don't understand that the foundation or the core of what we do, and I would say across the board, our favorite thing that we do is actually the live training missions that we run. And man, we've been doing them for years. I don't know, how many people do you think we've been able to train with over the course of, just since you've been here, Chill? I mean, it's way up in the hundreds, right?
Yeah, I was going to say close to 1,000.
Because I'm thinking,
not quite.
I don't even know what rite of passage, what team would we be on now?
Coming up in June is team 17.
17. So you're figuring 17, roughly, we'll say roughly 25 people per team. I don't even know what 17 times 25 is, but that's a lot of people, man. We have got to meet some characters, and we have got to see some stuff over the course of 17 ROP courses. Basic course, I don't even know what we're on it. We're in the 20s on that.
Yeah, I don't know what we're on either. I think it's team 32.
Oh my gosh.
Coming up.
That's insane.
32 and 33 this summer.
Wow.
I think.
Basic course, and then the proving grounds. Multiple troops at the proving grounds.
Done 12 of that.
Yeah, 12. Okay, so we've been doing it for a long time, man. So we've been doing the podcast for a long time. We're over 300 and something episodes, or more than that.
Total episodes all time is
I don't even know what we're at.
Almost 600.
Oh my gosh, I was half. So, man, we've had a lot of fun. We've done a lot of stuff. We don't take a lot. I'll explain what those missions are to y'all, and then we'll talk to you guys about kind of our all-time favorite moments. But anyways, we don't ever take a lot of time just to look back on what we've been able to accomplish because of you guys who have showed up over the years and trained with us. And it's been interesting how much different. I think the first thing about the training is it's been interesting how much different the people who show up to train are now than they were way back in the day when there was no information out about any of these training evolutions. Before we did any YouTube videos on them or showed any, which we don't show much of them now, but we show enough that people can kind of get the feel for what it is. It brings a different type of people, but also I think it's allowed, at least at the ROP course, it's allowed them to have better success. I think the videos that we've put out have allowed the team members at the ROP course to have better success. Just the little bits of information that they're able to have. Because we have had a high finish rate this past year at the ROP course compared to previous years.
For sure.
You've had a super high finish rate. So where you guys want to start with this? You want to start with the ROP?
Sounds good to me.
That's good with me.
Yeah. So to tell you guys what we mean by ROP, ROP stands for Rite of Passage. This is a mission that I dreamed up while I was actually out on a backpacking trip with my wife. And in essence, what it is it's a 24-hour hike, march, forced march, I don't know what you want to call it, through the mountains of northwest Georgia on some really rocky, steep, tough trail, all right? It has a lot of mixed terrain. There are some stuff, there's some little bit of road walk in there, a little bit of two-track, but the majority of it is pretty daggone gnarly trail. So the team comes out. They come from all over the country. We show up. We have an in-brief, and then the next day at some point in time, we go out as a team and we start this march. The team moves in formation. They move as a team throughout the course of the mission. They have to learn to work together because some of the unique thing about the Rite of Passage is you can't stop. You have to keep moving for 24 hours straight. So you have to learn how to depend on the people around you. And you can't sit down. You can't stop. You have to eat and drink as you go. It's hard, man. It is a hard mission. I remember the first couple of ROPs that we ran that I had just gotten done with the Cocodona race.
That's what I was going to say.
And my feet, it took probably 6 or 8 months for my feet to recover from Cocodona.
That's my first memory from the ROP is we ran that first mission and you had just done Cocodona and you sat down, remember on
I did not sit down.
Yeah.
I leaned against a
I remember how rough that got because you were like, dude, I feel like I'm on mile 300 of Cocodona right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was. It was rough, and it hasn't gotten any easier. It's the same. It's difficult every single time that we do it. It's a really unique challenge. So, before we get into the our favorite memories from that, if you guys, all of these courses are on our website, 3f7project.com, and the way this works is you guys have to apply, and then we sort through all of the emails that we get, and we look for what you write, why you want to come, who you are, and then you're selected, you're handpicked out of all of the applications, and if you get picked, you'll receive a invitation to the course, all right? And then from there, you get all the information that you need to be able to come out, show up on time, on target with the right gear in order to be able to do it. But that's the ROP course in a nutshell. It's a 24-hour team hike where you can't stop. And, man, we have seen this mission, although it is so simple, we have seen an unbelievable impact made over the course of time that we've been running the rite of passage. It is so simple, but it makes such a huge impact in people's lives. And I would say for 90% of the people there, it's the hardest thing they've ever done. And what really makes it so awesome is the team aspect, the people who show up, the relationships that are formed there that carry on even after the course is over. That's in all across the board with all the missions that we run, what makes them unique. Because you go out and walk 24 hours by yourself. Well, you think you can. Go ahead and go out and try it and hold the same standard that we hold at the ROP. You might be able to do it. I'm not saying you can't. But without the team, it would be a whole different experience. So the people is what makes all of this so awesome. So out of all the ROP courses you've been a part of, CB, what are some of your favorite memories, funniest, most impactful, or just one if you got one that stands out to you?
I've got quite a few from the ROP. Probably the most impactful, I can't remember what team number it was that Tom Brandon was on, but it's going, we're rocking. It's like maybe 2:30 in the morning. One part where the team's climbing this big, humongous high hill, and, you know, they've just come out of what we all know as the wormhole. So most everybody's just drab and hating life. And
drab.
Yeah. Just
That's
drab.
another thing. All these courses we run, all the different sections, even the basic course, they're all named.
Yeah.
They all have specific names that
Yeah.
you'll get to learn if you come out and be a part of them.
But as they're climbing that hill, Tom starts out in this cadence and seeing those lights come up the hill and hearing his cadence, and some of the team goes in with him, and the way it just rejuvenated the team for that next leg was that was probably the most impactful thing I've seen on the ROP. I mean, it just brought the team back to life. Nobody quit from there on out, and they finished strong. So that team, also the Tom Russell and James Niggermeyer, that team right there. I mean, those dudes suffered early on and went through the entire.
That was a wild one.
Yeah, the entire thing. Tom Russell in his Rocky boots. I mean, after leg one, his knees were just in pain.
I remember now him and James up front, in the front two columns. Yeah,
and the way the team supported them and pushed them the whole way. And James, his stomach got tore up, son, and he'd be rough on the side of the trail. I mean, rough.
We see a lot of stomach problems during the rite of passage.
Yeah, and the maybe somebody will think I'm funny. I think it's funny, but with the snakes, you know, there's certain parts where the snakes are a lot worse.
There's Copperhead Road.
Yeah,
Copperhead Road is a section of the ROP course where we have been chased by copperheads.
Yeah. This section was where this happened was actually on the Leg Saver with a Dario's crew, Tom Levain, Big Tom.
All of your memories involve someone named Tom.
But absolutely teetotally terrified of snakes. And he had been talking about snakes, and I was like, well, a copperhead will chase you. Well, it wasn't maybe 20 minutes. He's in the front, and then here lays this 3-foot copperhead across the trail. And I grab one of the guy's walking sticks, and I just push it off the side of the trail, and is that a snake? I said, it was, but it's good. No. CB, was that a snake? You're good, dude. Dude locks down. I'm like, you're going to get dropped for not moving. You better start moving. No, seriously, was that a copperhead? It's going to chase me. I'm talking about totally freaked out. And I'm laughing, telling him to move, telling him he's going. Finally, he starts moving. And then the next team, Victor from San Francisco, had never seen a snake in his life. In his life. And 4:00 in the morning, we're going off this great big mountain. And I'm the last one behind the team, and he's in front of me. And we're walking through there. Y'all know the spot we're talking about. And he stops. Well, he don't stop. He like sort of stumble walks. And he says, dang, that's a pretty snake. And it's literally, no joke, 4 inches from us, stretched out, about a 4.5-foot rattlesnake.
That spot that you're talking about is full of rattlesnakes. Yeah. We need to rename that like Rattlesnake Hill or something, man.
And
where at?
It's going off the top of John.
Oh, yeah.
And I pushed him, and I said, that's a rattlesnake, dude. Move. He said, oh, it's a poisonous one.
Yeah, the most poisonous one.
But it never moved, never rattled. Even when I pushed him for his extra few steps, speed him up, it didn't move at all. Yeah. But he was locked on coming, and I think that was awesome that because, they're usually pretty drab coming off that.
Oh, yeah.
And he noticed that snake way before I noticed it. So, yeah.
You talking about that section where Tom picked up that cadence coming out of the wormhole.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite sections of the ROP course. You come out of the wormhole and you turn on this gravel, and everybody that's there at that point is committed, and they're they're locked in, they're beat down, and they're in it, and when you come out on that section and you hit that gravel, there's something about the sound of the team's feet.
Mm-hmm. That's where you notice it.
There's something about because they've become by that point this single element, this single organism, and their feet scraping that gravel is something about it, man. It reminds me of being in the military. Like I can just think of times like that through SEAL training and stuff where I heard that same sound when I was moving with my team kind of in that same formation. Yeah, that's an impactful spot. Tom Brannon is one of the MVPs out of everybody that we've ever trained. Oh, yeah. He's just an amazing man. Number one puking fit in the ROP course.
Oh, I have mine.
Who is it?
Shannon. Heck yeah, dude. I was standing right there.
Puking fit.
That was one of my biggest memories. I was standing right beside her, and she puked 8 times, and it was the fact that she didn't give a crap either.
She never stopped.
Yes.
Usually the students they want to stop and puke.
She truly didn't. I mean, she could not have cared any less that she was puking with like every step.
She got in bad shape, man.
Yep. She really did. I mean, she was sick coming into the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Or had been sick, whatever. And it took till the nighttime to start really coming on her. And that's when she started puking. And then I was talking to her about it, and she truly just did not give a crap. I was like, dang. I mean, you might need to, and she was just like, it's cool.
I like the pukes on the ride when it's done. In the van. Because they just come all of a sudden, and you'll have the other students' reaction. They'll be like, whoa, here we go.
Well, that's never happened that I remember other than this last one.
But
no, it has. Yeah, it's happened.
James Scoggins.
I wasn't in that van.
With me and Chad.
I was in there.
And Chad gave him a bread sack to throw up in. And then we had to pull over on the side of the road. And he threw up so much on the side of the road. And Chad told him, he said, that's enough of that. We got to get back in the van. Here's a bread sack. And he fills that bread sack like a quarter of the way up. throw it up.
I have so many memories from the rock course coming back now, man.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite James Scoggins moment was when we were entering the wormhole, and like I kind of like stood over to the side and like let them pass. I was going to get behind them, and they're filing in one by one. And James Scoggins is up next, and there's a little bit of a gap, and he gets right up next to me, gives me a little head nod, and then bends over right in front of me and just pukes so much and barely breaks stride, like, and then just stood right back up and kept walking. And he was like, all right. He just stumbled something out of his mouth and just kept going too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what was that?
Shannon definitely gets the award, though. Shannon is so tough, man.
Yeah.
She was going up Copperhead Road, middle of the night, just puking, I mean, turning pale, and never missed a lick, never talked about quitting, never asked to stop, nothing, man. She is so tough. That woman right there is impressive. Again, one of the MVPs of the people that we've gotten to spend time with and train with. All of our females usually wind up being MVPs. Mm-hmm. They never miss a lick. On the rock course, they never miss, man.
Yeah.
They just rock and roll. Dude, so many memories are coming back to me. I remember, I forget the guy's name, but he was a fainter. And at the very end, he fainted.
Oh, yeah.
Tucker.
Yeah.
He just melted into he just melted onto the ground. And he kept fainting.
Yeah. Tucker's
I was like, okay,
guy.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
I've never seen a fainter.
Yeah, Tucker's a good guy.
By gosh, he sure did it. One of my favorite memories from the ROP course is a team a long time ago that was coming down off the mountain, and our friend James Ward was actually helping us instruct on this particular course.
I know where you're going with this.
And the one person I remember very vividly from this team, and you'll realize why here in a little while, his name was Cash. And this team is coming down off the mountain. It's the wee hours of the morning, but still dark. And they go full animalistic. They lose all sense of humanity. It's the only team I've ever seen do this. And they fell to just crapping right beside each other, puking, and the worst, just nasty, wet farts. And
Cash he did great, but he had so many problems on that course. Like when we were going down the mountain, he was getting stung by a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I was giving him Benadryl. Like
I remember that.
I mean, he did great, but he was like just one thing after the other.
So these jokers get full animalistic. I mean, they have lost all sense of dignity. Essentially, they were just like, look, man, we in this. We're like animals here. We're going to just let our bodily functions flow. We get down to one of the resupply points, and the team is refilling their water bottles and whatnot. And about that time, I hear instructor James Ward yell out in this middle of this dark, just weird time and place. He says, Who took a massive steamer over here by the trail sign? All right. So there was a little trail sign there, and we let the students know about, leave no trace principles when we're out in the backcountry.
They had left a lot of trace.
But someone from the team had went right there by the trail sign in full view of everybody, right there, and squatted down and took a massive dump right beside the trail sign. And James yells it out, and he was mad. James was mad. And so then Cash had to Roger up in front of his entire team.
They already knew. They watched him do it.
Yeah, they probably watched him do it. And I think Instructor James made him go over there with a Ziploc bag and collect his massive steamer up off the ground
so.
and relocate it to a more dignified area.
the team Marty Bingham was on. Remember on the second leg, you did the second leg that time, and those hillbillies that kept wandering up and down the road, that one big fat guy that didn't have no shirt on, and their truck had broke down in the middle of that mud hole, and we had to get the team to push their vehicle out of the way in the middle of the mud hole. But I always remember a lot of the people's reactions, were way out in the woods, and that's normally where we see the wraiths and the wanderers and the
dude. We go through
criminal trail robbers.
Through some wild places on this course, man.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite non-student memory, like from these people we see? Because I do.
Through the people we deal with.
Yeah.
Well, I always think it's cool that this one section it's on the second leg. Like they will just be a car down at the bottom of a holler, like insurance fraud or something like that. They've just somehow got it down this single track trail and said this is where this booger's going to live, and they'll just push it down and
burn up motorcycles.
Yeah.
My favorite non-student memory from ROP course is that same spot where James Scoggins threw up. As we're coming up the hill, right in that area, I see a tent set up.
I know. Yeah, I remember that.
And I've never seen, I think all three of us were together.
Yeah.
I've never seen a tent there before. And I was thinking, dang, this is odd. Like, why is he set up right here?
It's right there entering the wormhole.
Yeah, and number two, what is he thinking when freaking 20 people are going
marching by him at 3 a.m.?
And some of the stuff that they were saying and we were saying, I was like, man, what? And as we get closer, it's basically just us three. Most of the teams went by, and like we get close enough. I'm trying not to, shine my light right on it or whatever, but I just hear out of the rustling wind up there, I'm okay.
Yeah.
He thought somebody was coming up there to check on him.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And which one of y'all said something to him?
I can't remember.
And then he said, how far am I from East Armucci Road or whatever he said?
Yeah, but you answered. You was like, probably 2 miles or so. And I was like, no, you way further than 2 miles. That Joseph got up in the morning.
What difference did it make?
It was like, I only got 2 miles to this road, and he was smoked trying to find that road.
That had to be weird for him, man.
That was just hilarious, though. It was just, man, he sounded sad. I'm okay.
Yeah, we go through some remote areas. My favorite moment, we have a lot of people that don't make it through the ROP course, all right? This past year's been really good. We've had a high finish rate. Last year was really bad. We had a ton. It was super hot last year.
It was,
though. Yeah. But we had a bunch of people on every single team drop. I mean,
you're talking about the year before this past. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, man. I was like, what is going, the course hasn't changed. I guess, I don't know, it was the heat or just the people that showed up. But I mean, some of the courses, the team by the end is cut in half. And we've actually had a course that, started out, Dario's group started out with, I don't know, 20, and I think they wound
24,
up
25.
They wound up with, I don't know the numbers
10.
exactly, 10 or less people. So a lot of people don't make it for whatever reasons. It's not because they can't most of the time. It's not because they can't. I mean, we have seen some heat injuries and different stuff, but most of the time it's just because they underestimated, which a lot of you guys listening, you're probably doing the same thing. You're underestimating how hard this challenge actually is. And they hit that point where it is way harder than they imagined it was going to be. And it's harder than they wanted it to be when they showed up. And they say, yeah, it's a voluntary program. You can quit at any time. So my most vivid memory, though, of someone who quit was on. It was late into the through the night and into the morning. It was like an hour. They had it like an hour left, or less than an hour left.
Oh yeah.
You talking about Matt?
And we came to this. We came to a resupply point, and the sun was actually there was beginning to be a little bit of light in the sky. All right, it wasn't breaking the horizon, but if you were paying attention, you could see that the sky was lightening up. But we came to this resupply point, and there were some videographers there who had lights set up. And the team comes in, and because of those lights that were set up around the resupply point, they couldn't see out past those lights to see that the sky was starting to get some color in it. And
they wouldn't have noticed anyway.
Yeah, they might not would have noticed anyway. And with literally less than an hour left, was there just one?
Well, I remember that pretty well. You were in the mood to make some people quit at that point, and 3 or 4 were ready to. But Corn helped talk.
Chad was so mad at me.
Corn helped talk some of them off the ledge after you had talked them on the ledge. And, it ended up being just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
And he just laid down on the ground.
By the way, though, he has since come back and finished the rope course.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has. And we've seen that with a couple of people who didn't make it the first time they tried it. Barry is another one that didn't make it the first time he tried it, and he came back and finished
Barry
the
and
next
Nick.
time.
Nick, yeah.
They did it together.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So, yeah, man, that was my most memorable quitting moment. It was obviously I knew they had less than an hour left, and I looked over, and here's this dude that's come all this way, 23 hours, and, like, all he has to do is walk down a hill.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he has to do is walk down a hill. And I see him over there laying on the ground. And so at the ROP course, if you sit down at any point during the mission, it's a voluntary drop. Like, you don't have to say you quit. You just either, if you stop moving or if you sit down or something like that, it's the same as you saying I quit. And so I remember that dude doing that, and I thought, boy, he is going to regret that decision right there. 23 hours and all this pain, and here he is with less than an hour left, and he can't see past the noise around him to see that the sky's lighting up. You know what I mean?
Well, that's actually happened twice. I mean, there was the hour 20 moment with Matt, and he came back and finished. And, with Steve's group, Brian did the same thing. He only had, an hour and a half, hour there, whatever. And, sat down by the van or whatever, and then found out how much time he had. But, man, Brian came back and finished it as well.
Yeah.
The next year and did really well.
So did Rob.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Speaking of Adario's group, Adario's done it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my most memorable. The ride, giving the people the ride back after they've quit. Like, some of them are real talkative, and some of them don't say anything at all, and some of them want to make small talk, or so on and so forth. But my most memorable one was from Adario's group when Anthony quit. And I gave him the ride. I'd talked to him, when he was making his decision to quit, and we was almost back to where he had to go. And he said, "You know what? I made a mistake. You was right. I should have stayed. Can I go back?" It's like, no, you done quit, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't unquit.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
When we're talking about Adario's group, sometimes if you have a business or some sort of group or, team or coaching program or something where if you guys want to bring your team out that you're used to working with and you guys want to go through this training mission together, as a team instead of just meeting up with individuals from all over the country to train. Sometimes we will accommodate those requests and allow that to happen. And so when we talk about a Dario's group, that's what we're talking about. It's a coaching group that has come out to do this mission multiple times with us as just kind of a benefit for their members who are members of their group. So we do that sometimes, although there aren't very many businesses or corporations or groups that are willing to actually do something like this, because it is extremely hard. If you guys exist, you can send a request and we can talk about accommodating that. But I have one more memory, and I'm going to kick it over to you, Chill, for anything that I missed from the ROP course. One more that stands out in my mind, the most inspiring thing for me in terms of watching someone go through this mission was our friend Daniel Carlton going through the ROP course as a above the knee amputee, along with all the other injuries that he's sustained. Daniel's been on the podcast before, but man, watching him fight through that mission and do it well was the most inspiring thing I've witnessed from a student out there on the ROP course personally. Yeah. Although there's tons and tons of examples, but Daniel, given his circumstance, still showing up. I mean, I remember when I saw him at the in brief, I was like, Chili selects the students. I was like, Chili has selected somebody to come out here and do this on one leg? I don't know. Like, I know how hard this is. Well, Daniel showed up and showed out, son.
Yeah. Just thinking about things we've missed. I mean, I think we've talked about most every team, you know. I remember Brandon Rager's team with Teddy and how do you say his last name? I think he always laughs when I say it. Mitrosilis, you know. Yeah. Brandon Rager. That team was special to me because of how far they went, man. They as far as my record showed, they have the record for most distance. I mean, they went way past our usual final stop. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. I think we'd be remiss not to talk about the very first team.
That was Bean's team, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. It was
no quitters.
Probably the smallest team we've ever had, but the very first one, it was special, man. Like Brooks Cobb on that team, Nate, and man, I could not believe that the very first team had no quitters, because until team 12, they were the only team
I know
that had not had any quitters. And that first team, man, I mean, they were breaking new ground. Like, it was all...
They had zero information.
Yeah. And, you know, Aaron from Washington State, Aaron Harmer, I think is his last name. I don't want to say his last name. I know that's what it is, but I don't want to say it wrong or if I'm having a brain. But, yeah, Aaron was... I mean, I remember a couple hours in, he looked at me. He was like, man, are you serious, dude? And he just...
I remember Aaron.
The way he dug in, man.
Dude.
That was wild.
Yeah, we got some pictures with Aaron in the spot where he was struggling hard and it was raining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't get a lot of rain on rock courses somehow. But that first one, it rained pretty hard for a minute. And that added to the difficulty. And, yeah, we don't get a lot of rain on the ROP. It's interesting.
I only remember it raining one time on me and Chad going up Copperhead Road. That's out of all the ROPs I've done, that's the only one I ever remember it raining.
Yeah, you know, we've done 16 ROPs. We've done probably 3 wintertime courses. The rest have been 13 summer courses, you would say. Yeah. It's been an interesting.
Well, I'll tell you where we do get a lot of rain.
That's what I was thinking.
on the basic course.
Every
Yeah.
time.
That's where we get the
Done it 31 times. It's rained 31 times.
dude. We get some extreme conditions at the basic course. There's something about that area that we run that course in.
Yeah, rainforest.
A little information for you guys on what the basic course is. The basic course is essentially a 3-day mission in the extreme backcountry of the kind of North Carolina, Tennessee, Appalachian mountains. I don't know if that'd be part of the Smokies or what, but big mountains, really wild environment. It's almost like some sort of subtropical rainforest type of environment up there, but big mountains. Totally different terrain than you encounter on the ROP course. And everybody wonders, what's the order I should do the courses in? There is no order. They're all individual courses. The missions are so unique. I guess you could say in some ways they might build on each other. Definitely if you do all three, you'll take things you learned and you'll be able to apply and do better and better and this and that. But they don't have to be in any certain order. But the basic course is really the flagship training mission that we started with here at 3F7 Project a long time ago. I started the basic course during COVID because nobody could find anything to do. All the races were canceled. Everybody was being told to stay at home. You can't come around anybody. People were getting really depressed. People that like to be outside, that like to, do hard things. There really wasn't any team environments or group environments where that was happening. And so that was really what prompted us to start the basic courses. It was a way to bring people back together, get them outside, get them working together. And it was the mission there revolves around definitely working together in a small team to accomplish some pretty complex tasks. Those tasks are revolving around what it looks like to survive, or not survive, but thrive in that extreme mountainous environment for multiple days. So basic course, we are teaching skills. We teach the same skills that I learned in Kodiak, Alaska during SEAL qualification training in terms of how to utilize your shelter, how to build fire, how to filter water, how to do land nav, how to read a map, a compass, how to look at terrain and move through that environment safely. That's kind of overarching what the basic course looks like. But we do get a ton of weather there. And I would say, well, I guess one of my favorite non-student memories on the basic course was when it was just me and Chili instructing a basic course because Blake was sick.
Yeah.
And so it was me and Chili.
Typical.
We had this team. We get to the high point of the entire course. Was this the same time that Tin Man nearly froze to death?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We get to the high point, and we wake up the next morning. We go to sleep, and we wake up the next morning, and everything is completely frozen.
Oh, yeah, that's where, that was
Okay.
Tin Man's.
So a lot of stuff happened there.
Yeah.
We got up. It had been raining all day. Speaking of rain, we top out on this massive ridge. The wind kicks up. The rain stops, but the temperature drops to like 13, 14 degrees, and everything is soaking wet. And so, therefore, everything flash freezes within minutes. Clothing, boots. Me and Chili wake up the next morning, and our shelters are frozen, are encased in ice. And we're having to take our stoves and melt the ice off of the union of our tent poles so that we can separate our tent poles, break them down, and stow our shelter away. Everything was encased in ice. Boots, frozen, rock, solid. The cold, man, the cold complicates everything. And, buddy, we have seen some cold, like some extreme cold, out on the basic course, especially those wintertime courses that we used to run. We don't run as many basic courses anymore because it's such a huge time commitment, man. We still do a couple a year, but man, it is it's the flagship course, man. Cornbread, you went actually through the basic course as a student.
Yeah.
You haven't been an instructor on the basic course, at least not up to this point, but you went through as a student. What's one of your favorite memories going through as a student, man?
Well, when I did the basic course, it was months after me becoming sober. So I was highly out of shape, big time. The memory I talk about the most is I didn't understand anything about nutrition or hydration or any of that. But the memory I talk about the most, and I can't even remember, it was during day 2, getting late of the eve. We was probably 2 or 3 hours from where we was going to stop at. We was going through this sort of thick section, and I hallucinated for like 15 seconds. Like we're going up this steep section, and it was an actual vine, but I walked by this vine and I see this vine wrap around my ankle, and it turned into a rattlesnake and it bit me. Of course, like it, a hallucination.
Did you not sleep good the night before or something?
No, I definitely did not sleep good.
Nobody sleeps on the basic course.
No. Well, that night before, Chad said, y'all, good luck with y'all's intermittent sleep. And I was like, what is he even talking about? Like, are they going to try to get us up in the middle of the night or whatever? But that's what he meant. Wasn't nobody going to get no good sleep. But
I don't know why I sleep like a baby on the basic course, man.
Yeah. So... But that hallucination of that right there, that was something the only time I've ever done that.
Didn't you do the entire basic course in cut off jeans?
I did cut off BDUs.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't there for this, but I think you would be remiss if you didn't tell, and now Blake's not here today either to tell this, but if Blake was here, what story would he tell about you?
Well, he would probably tell how he caught
the famous quote.
Oh, you can do it?
No.
Which one?
He said
I just got to get there.
Yeah.
That was early on as well. Like,
Cornbread was hurting, son.
We had done, it was maybe 11, 12 o'clock, day 2. And we had just did these switchbacks, man. And I'd done got in my head because it was taking me a good while to catch up to the team. So they was like leaving me. So I was getting ticked. Because right when I would get to them, they would take off again. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
And I come up.
They got a break.
I'm passing the instructors, and Chad says, "What do you need, Corn?" And I said, I just need to get there. And I remember one of them said, "Well, he don't even know where he's going. So why does he just need to get there?" But yeah, it teed up. That was the first time I'd had any true weight on my back. Hiking. And like Chad said, it is some rough country. I had that hallucination. I remember also the first time I'd ever got like real cramps from doing physical activity. I got some cramps on the inside of my thighs.
Ooh.
And dude, it brought me to my knees, and my swim buddy, Clint Hughes, which has hiked everywhere. I think he just got through doing a hike in Peru or somewhere, but he's a big time hiker. And, me being a former police or whatnot, he gave me this bag, and he said, "Here, take this. This will get rid of your cramps."
What does that have to do with you being a police?
Hold on. Because it was all these crystals and stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm not taking no dope. And he's like, no, man, it's magnesium and it's this and it's this and it's this.
It's back before Cornbread knew about electrolytes.
Exactly.
I mean, you're like, dude, I was a former policeman, and he handed me this bag.
This clear bag.
What to do with it?
This clear bag with all the crystals in it. I literally thought it was meth. And
I thought you were like an expert in identifying drugs. He handed you salt.
When you are deep in the pain cave, you don't want nobody even messing with you.
He just thought a vine turned into a rattlesnake wrapped around his leg and bit him.
But anyhow, I took those things, dude, and I bet the cramps were gone. I remember stopping for lunch, and I had a bagel and peanut butter. However long we stopped, 30, 40 minutes or whatever. Chad gives a course there. I literally chewed that first bite of that bagel the entire time. My body would not let me swallow it. I had to take it out of my mouth with my hands.
I think you just needed a
My
drink.
body wouldn't even let me spit it out.
You just needed a drink.
Dude, I've seen the basic course wreck some people, man.
It wrecked me.
I have seen the basic, and it's cumulative.
Yeah.
That's why it wrecks people, man. It's cumulative because it's multiple days. You're out in that environment, and when you're in that wilderness environment, and this is true wilderness too. As a matter of fact, one of the routes that the teams can pick on the basic course is rated in the top 10 hardest mountainous routes in the country. Yeah. All right? So it's cumulative. You got the weight on your back. You're not sleeping good for multiple nights. You're eating food you're not used to eating. And you're having to learn and then execute all of these really precise skills that you're being taught on the spot. And I have really just seen that course wear some people down. I've seen some people freak out. When you're out on the basic course, the unique thing about it is you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
When you're in it, you can't get out of it. You're just stuck in it.
Yeah.
So the whole mindset of like, oh, just tough it out, like that don't work. Like you have to stay ahead of these problems, because if it begins to snowball on you, it's not like you can step into a climate controlled environment and reset, get dried off, and then carry on, take you a nap or something. Like you're in it, man.
Yeah. And talking about the rain, what you let off with, it rained the entire time. And I'm talking about rain.
And it can get chilly up high even in the summertime.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen people on the basic course just literally freeze up. I mean, I remember coming into a spot one time, we were going to eat lunch, and I remember looking at a female student, and all of a sudden a hailstorm came out of nowhere, and it just started just dumping hail. And it was cold, man. And she's standing there with a group tarp in her hands, and she just freezes. She just, it's, like fight or flight. Fight, flight, or freeze. Yeah. She froze. And Blake laughed so hard when I said this, but I was being dead serious. I looked at her and I said, "Are you just going to stand there and freeze to death?" Like, you might ought to do something. You might ought to take action to improve your situation. Because if you just keep standing there, your situation's going to continue to get worse. But, man, that place is so big and so scary for people who aren't used to it. I think it just overwhelms them. It really does. We have to talk about Walter.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to bring up when you said your favorite non-student memory.
Yeah, I guess. Walter.
I mean, dude, because you encountered him way before I did.
Yeah,
and you had told me about him, and then that time where I think it was just you and me again, and we really got to spend some time with him. Remember, he kind of just jumped into our.
Was that when he apologized for smelling like urine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did too.
So TP Walter is a legend. This guy's name is TP Walter, and there's very few people that go into the area that we do the basic course. Very few people.
Yeah.
because it's not maintained. It's super remote. But TP Walter is in his 70s. And
he's probably like 50. He just seems old.
No, TP Walter watches the weather forecast, and he intentionally chooses the nastiest, coldest span of weather. About a month, he's usually out. And
like March, right?
March, February,
Yeah.
March. Yeah, he'll look for the worst possible conditions that he can possibly find. And he goes out into this area, and he spends an entire month. He has a pack. His pack weighs over 100 pounds. And so he only moves maybe a mile a day. He doesn't move far. Some days he won't move at all. And he carries this massive tent with him, big cold weather sleeping bag, all these knickknacks and stuff. But he basically lives for the entire month. He don't eat nothing but oatmeal. He has these massive sacks of oatmeal, and that's all he eats for the entire time he's out there. And if you run, the first time I met TP Walter was actually with Hal's team.
Yeah.
Hal's team. We top out on this high point on night 2. It's pitch dark, blowing a daggone nasty storm, and they're all getting, shelter set up, and I'm watching them, making sure everybody's safe. TP Walter emerges out of the darkness from nowhere, and I'm like, dude, it's 2 a.m. We're up here over 5,000 feet. It's blowing a storm, and here comes this 70-year-old dirty-looking dude. He just emerges and just assimilates with the team. He joins us for our fire starting. He joins us for our after actions report. He just becomes part of the team, and he has a little camera with him, and he's taking pictures of everything, and he's like setting his Nalgene bottle and beside people's shelter and taking pictures of it.
He's awesome.
He is a legend, dude. I remember when me and you saw him that second time, he had a leaky bladder, and he had been peeing in his tent for weeks.
Uh-huh.
And he just straight up said, "Hey, I apologize, guys. I know I smell like urine, but..."
I think he heard somebody say that.
Okay.
But the best thing about him that day was it was more of a mild day. I mean, it was cool, but I remember he had shorts on, Crocs, and a unzipped. I mean, it was like, I guess it was your exact feathered friend.
It's the same puff jacket I have.
Puff
His
jacket.
is just older.
And unzipped, and he had shorts on and Crocs, and with his glasses on, and he was just strolling out with us. And I was like, dang.
He hiked with us for about an hour, probably.
Yeah.
But from that, I remember when he was walking out with us, we're following this beautiful kind of river out. And he stops, and he looks down at the water, and he says, "That's why they call it the Emerald Spring," or something like that. I don't know. He just... Which leads me to, I'm about to kick it over to you, Chili. I have to share this memory of the basic course, and then I'm kicking it over to Chill. There was a team, that same river I was just telling you guys about. We hike in.
Oh, yeah.
We have to cross this river twice to get to our layup point for the night. We get everything set up. We do our instruction. We do our after action report. Everybody goes to bed. Well, that night, it blows in a daggone rainstorm like you ain't never seen or heard in your life. I'm talking about just dumping rain. We get up the next morning, and that river went from being shin deep, maybe knee deep, to over your head deep. We could not cross it. And we were stuck on it's just this little section of trail on the wrong side of the river, and you can't go anywhere because that little section of trail that's on the wrong side of the river is only about a quarter mile long. And so that's all you got. Without crossing that river, you can't go anywhere. And dude, we didn't know what we were going to do, did we, Chill?
No. I mean, me and Blake looked at each other like, well, that's when there's times during these courses, I mean, we might as well just be up front with everybody that you'll turn against us. you'll turn against us. And me and Blake were like, man, we're going to have to, we were coming up with solutions that you did not like. So you turned against us for a second.
Yeah. Y'all were talking about sitting there in camp and having quiet time for the rest of the weekend.
No, man, we were talking about getting innovative and letting the river come down. It would have worked.
Finally, I make the call. I say, no, we ain't sitting here all day.
It was some epic off-trail stuff.
I said, we're going to bust off of this trail and we're going to parallel this river until we find a spot that we can hopefully cross. And so we do. And it was the most gnarly, brush-busting hike. I mean, it probably took us 2 hours to go less than a mile.
Oh, we didn't go nowhere near a mile.
Yeah. I mean, it was gnarly. And finally, we come to a place where a tree had fallen across this river. The river narrowed up a little bit. A tree had fallen across it. Well, little did I know, we had a student, Chris, who was scared of the water. And so we're having to hug this fallen tree and inch our way with 60-pound packs on our back and a whole kit full of gear across this raging river, clinging to this fallen tree until we get to the other side. And it was, I know Chris has brought it up many, many times since then because we've trained with him at the proving grounds and stuff since then. But I think for him, that was probably one of the most scary moments of his entire life. But he did it. I mean, when you would grab this limb,
that water was moving.
As soon as you stepped into the river, it would wash your feet up off the ground.
Boom.
It was moving that fast. Yeah. That was a wild trip.
You say 60-pound packs. I remember that was the course that mission that Steve Putnam was the LPO. And do you remember his pack?
Oh yeah.
It was as big as Walter's.
We've seen some packs. Steve's pack, Stovepipe Ed.
Oh gosh,
his pack.
Yeah.
I seen Mike Borelli coming off a mountain one time on the basic course, and he was carrying probably 5 people worth of gear.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of team members, they get to the point that they can't carry the weight, and they'll, whoever's strong will take. Mike Borelli looked like a looked like a tinker, a pack peddler coming off of that darn thing, looked like he was about to set up a darn flea market.
Yeah, I remember Chris did that in basic course team 25. He had like his pack and 2 other ones, and I remember just watching him do that. I was like, golly. Yeah, man. Walter's such a legend. Like when I actually got to talk to him a little bit, I think you asked him one time to tell the team, what is your number one piece of advice for, this terrain, like just for an adventure, like anything, just what's your number one piece of advice? And he got quiet for a second and he just looked at the ground and he looked back up and he said, extra underwear. And then he just kind of like looked to see if anybody laughed. And then he was just like, And then he said, let me think. And he thought some more and he said, a willing heart. And at first I kind of thought that was goofy, but then I was like, no, that's actually pretty good piece of advice, that was his serious one. And no, that dude's just, he's a cool guy. But he's definitely basic course lore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because some teams have seen him, and the other teams, I think, feel his presence, even when they don't see him. One thing for me on the basic course is where we usually camp night one. I mean, I don't know if we've even talked about it that much with students, but I'll be curious if any of them have had this experience. Like, you hear voices down there. when you're sleeping sometimes at night. I mean, flat out. I do. And I don't know what it is. Or ain't none of us been able to figure it out, but
I've got theories behind it.
the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sleeping right on the edge of that river. And you hear legitimate like people talking at night. And I don't know if there's some way that like sound can get trapped in that river from other groups that have been down. I have
Okay, that's too woo-woo.
This is my theory
It's not
that
that.
somehow sound is getting trapped in that river.
We have talked about this before. I think they say that sometimes like random water noise like that, your brain tries to make sense of it kind of subconsciously at times, and it'll make sense like and hear voices out of it.
Right.
You know, like something recognizable. But the problem with that for me is I have been by like that's not the only spot that I'm around water like that or sleeping, and that's the only place that I hear it. Like I've never experienced that any other time or any other place. So that's why it's odd for me because I could buy that explanation, but that should be repeatable amongst other places that
with moving water.
And it's not been in my experience. So that's why that's odd.
That's a weird place, man. It is. Such a cool place to get to share with people too.
It is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some basic courses coming up this summer. And are they all full?
You know, we have one spot left in the August course, but I have somebody that said they want it.
Okay.
So probably not.
Well, you guys can always apply for next year. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to cover down on the proving grounds real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Hey, really quick, I want to tell you guys about our next race on the calendar. It's called the Mountain Mama Farms Classic. That's going down November the 21st right here in Northwest Georgia. It is a really grassroots running, racing experience. It's held at a private farm. A friend of ours named Stacy Marshall, Mountain Mama, she has had this farm in her family for generations, and she's opened it up to us for the day to come out and do some running together. It's a really amazing family-friendly environment for us to just come out, do the things that we love, push ourselves, use our bodies, and have good fellowship. So if you're looking for an awesome day, a great experience, bring your family along with you. Check out Mountain Mama Farms. I will attach a link to registration for this race in the description of this episode. I guarantee you it'll be worth your investment and your time if you come out and spend the day with some awesome people at this race. All right, so we're just scratching the surface. We're just hitting the highlights of these courses, man. There's so much that we could spend time talking about. Moving on, I guess, to the other kind of standard mission that we run here at 307 Project on a yearly basis is a mission that we call the Proving Grounds. Similarly to the basic course, we began hosting the Proving Grounds right there in the COVID era. And we host the Proving Grounds at a big private property / kind of camp in North Georgia. And it's again totally unique and different from the other courses. The cool thing about the Proving Grounds is you actually stay in a bed at night. Like we have a classroom, we have a climate controlled environment. We're not just out in the wilderness like we are during the rite of passage and the basic course. So the cool thing at the Proving Grounds, that allows us to push really harder than we would be willing to push people at the basic course or the rite of passage, because we can step out of that difficult environment and into a climate controlled covered building, and you have a bed to sleep in, and we have facilities and stuff there. So the pace is a lot different at the Proving Grounds. I would say the Proving Grounds is very dynamic in terms of the things that we do, the learning that happens, the number of evolutions and training elements that we fit into that course. It's very dynamic. There's a lot of different things that you're doing and learning along the way. I would say that it's also probably the premier course if you are looking for some sort of leadership development because of the complexity of a lot of the things that we're doing. There's a lot more to manage, and it's a great place to come and really develop your leadership skills. So we started the Proving Grounds again during the COVID era because this big piece of private property, this big camp in North Georgia, no one was coming to no one was using their facility because no one would get together. Everybody said, everybody canceled. Their whole year was wiped out. They said, good night. We need somebody here training, man. We got all this stuff. Nobody will come train. And so our friend James Ward introduced us to the managers of that property, and we were able to develop that relationship. And for about 2 years, we were pretty much the only people using those facilities to conduct training. So we just built that out. We go really in-depth land navigation there. We have big high elements that we can work on. We have I'm not going to give away all the evolutions that we do there, but it's super dynamic. So, Cornbread, you've been a student at the Proving Grounds, and you've also been an instructor now multiple times at the Proving Grounds.
Yeah. I've instructed through 6 Proving Grounds. I think it gives me not really an advantage, but I can have a different perspective of like the turmoil that could be going on in their head, not knowing what's coming next or how long this is going to last and so on and so forth. So I think it helps me instruct an immense amount at the Proving Ground, having been through it as well. When I was a student in it, I was on the basic course September the year before. So then I did the January Proving Ground, so the winter Proving Ground. And I was like, well, this basic course just totally kicked my butt. So I'm going to go here and prove myself to the guys that are giving me this opportunity. And by golly, if it didn't kick my butt too. But
it's not easy.
No, it wasn't easy. Lot bigger group, so a different dynamic than the basic course too. And then I had some physical stuff come up during the Proving Ground and learned a lot of lessons about that, about voicing when you need help. And it just gives you so many different aspects, such a different aspect of the basic course to build on leadership and to see really and truthfully where you're at in your mind, not and physically as well too, but in your mind as well. And but I had a pin coming out of my ankle, and that through probably half of the course. I remember Chili being the medic when I finally said something about it, and he come down there and looked at it, and he said, "Woo."
That's from a prior surgery, right?
Yeah, from a prior surgery.
What did you think?
You're training hard when your pins go to backing out.
What did you think when we were talking about that down there?
In the barracks?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I got in there and I was like, all right, I made it through that. I'm pretty sure I can make it through the rest of the evening, but I don't know what's coming in the morning. I don't know what this thing's going to do when I bunk down for the night. I don't know if my leg's going to swell up bad. So, and I began to realize, hey, I cost the team the opportunity to complete that evolution. And I said, I need to say something. So I got my swim buddy. My swim buddy was Jonah, by the way. And I said, hey, dude, I got this problem. And I took it off. And he said, woo. He did the same. He said, I'm going to get chilly. And when you come down there and looked at it, just those thoughts in my head, like, hey, I should have said something earlier. It may not have gotten this bad. And Chili said, well, that's an issue. You're not going to get to do the next evolution for sure. But I elected to stay instead of going home, and I'm glad I did. But, yeah, I learned a lot from it. But I think it gives me, like I said at the beginning, this different aspect to be able to help the students and instruct in my own personal way, to help them out.
What's some of your favorite memories from the Proving Grounds, Chill?
Well, the first thing that popped into my head about the Proving Ground is the fact that, not that the other ones haven't changed, because I think from the time you didn't really talk about the first basic courses, that I wasn't a part of, but
it's changed immensely.
I mean, I think those early basic courses to now is like night and day.
All the courses change over the years.
For me, man, the Proving Ground has like gotten better. I don't know if every time is accurate because they've all been different and everything, but it has generally moved into such a better direction, I think. Like, I think this last one we did was probably the best one we've ever done. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's a lot's been added, some stuff's been taken away. It's really been refined down to, I think, in some ways, the best thing we do. The best course we run. In my opinion, I mean, they're all different. I think at different times, the rock course has been my favorite, and sometimes it's the Proving Ground, whatever.
Every time you do a Proving Grounds, you're like, dang, that was a valuable weekend.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But we only do them twice a year, so it's, a lot of times you lose perspective on how impactful it actually is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. I think it's an awesome weekend, and I really like the changes that we've made to it. And some of my favorite memories, I mean, I won't talk too much about them, but it's I don't know. I guess what I was going to say, I don't really want to talk too much about, but there's just different parts of it that I really love. I mean, I love going in depth on the land navigation. Some different things have happened on that course. I mean, there's so many memories of just the land navigation that last, just a fraction of the weekend. Like when Anthony, we talked about him earlier, when he fell in the water. Like, dude, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen at the at the Proving Ground. Just some of the struggles that people have on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, man, those are great memories for me. I mean, I think for some reason you always talk about having you have a hard time having memories of specific individuals from any course we run, anything, because you're looking at the team as a whole. And with me, I have a lot of individual memories from the basic course, from the ROP course, but with the Proving Ground, it is more that way for me. Like I remember teams more than it. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
But no, I love the Proving Ground weekend though.
I think for me, one of the most impactful memories from the Proving Ground is one of the most recent memories I have from the Proving Ground. And that was the time that we got to spend with Jason.
Oh, yeah.
At the Proving Grounds. And Jason was killed in a tragic car accident not too long ago. And I guess I'll say the greatest honor that I've ever had as an instructor was to be able to go and honor him at his funeral and to be able to speak about his faith and what he believed in. It's the greatest honor that's ever been bestowed on me as an instructor here at 307 Project. But, that tragedy really drove home for me a lot of the things that we focus on at the Proving Grounds and the importance of those things, and those things being the non-physical things that we do at the Proving Grounds. I'm a very physical person, and I'm generally more excited about the physical evolutions than I am about the classroom portions there at the Proving Grounds. But one of the things that we do at the Proving Grounds is we do an exercise where we really we take a moment to number our days. We take a moment to see where we're at in life, what we've done up to the point that we are that day, and how much time we have left if everything goes right and we live a full life. That's a whole talk and a whole lesson that's led by our co-instructor, James Ward, at the Proving Grounds. And, I've always thought that was a good exercise, but I think losing Jason so soon after that made me really value in a whole new way what we're doing with those classroom sessions. Like, no, this is very, very important. And the scriptures actually tell us to take some time to sit down and think and number our days so that we can live our lives intentionally. And, yeah, man, it's just, I've had a huge shift in terms of how I look at those elements of the Proving Grounds because of that tragedy with Jason, and thinking about, yeah, man, I mean, Jason thought he had, way more time left than he actually did. But we also saw Jason leave the Proving Grounds and immediately go on a missions trip. Like, this dude was taking the lessons that we were learning there about, hey, we might not have a lot of time left. Even if we live a full lifespan, we still don't have a lot of time left. Let's maximize what we're going to do with the time that we have left. And another element that we add that ties into that whole lesson at the Proving Grounds is throughout the weekend, we develop a mission statement for our lives. So we talk about where we are, where we want to go, right? We kind of tie that back to the in-depth land navigation portion. And then that helps us as human beings, with the time that we have left, know what we need to say yes and no to. Because if it's not moving us in the direction that we have identified that we want to go, the mission for our lives, if it's an opportunity, it could even be an opportunity, but if it's not in alignment with that mission statement, it helps us be more efficient and be more effective in life when we have that outlined. And, I just think that's such a huge takeaway that the students get from the Proving Grounds that I really didn't value until we lost Jason. And I think another thing that really shifted my perspective, Chili shared a little bit about this on Comms Check, which is a podcast that we do for our Patreon members, but seeing how many of Jason's teammates from the Proving Grounds showed up to be a part of that service to memorialize him after he had died. A lot of men that were with him at the Proving Grounds were there. They flew from all different places in the country, and they had only spent a weekend with Jason. But it was that impactful, and the friendships that are made there are that strong to where these men are flying from all over the country to attend this service because they lost a team member that they had just done the Proving Grounds with a few months ago. And I don't know, I think it drove home to me that, dude, something worthwhile is happening here when we do these things. For the people who are willing to be invested in it, for the people who are there for the right reasons, the people who are there for the right reasons, not just so that they can say they did it or for selfish reasons or whatever, but the people who are there for the right reasons, who are there because they want to improve. They want to improve for their children, their wives, their coworkers. They're there not for selfish reasons, but because they want to take what they learn and go back and be a better human being with the time that they have left with the people that they love. Man, there's something happening there that is worthwhile and is powerful. And it's so easy to look, for me personally, doing this for so many years, to lose sight of that and just to think, yeah, okay, we're running another Proving Grounds. Like, here's the curriculum. Let's work through it. the students are going to get what they're going to get out of it. But I don't know, it just is a huge boost of, I don't know, I guess it's confirmation for me that, man, no, what we've dedicated our lives to, what we've been called to do is actually important. It's not just a business. It's not just going through the motions. It's not just instruction. It's not just the physical aspect. What we've been called to do is important, and there's deep, meaningful, lasting purpose behind it. And that's just been huge for me as over the course of the years. As you guys know, we run all these courses, and it's hard, and I grow weary a lot of times. And I think I needed something that showed me, and I hate it that it had to be shown through a tragedy, but I needed something to remind me that, no, this is meaningful. This is worthwhile. This is for real, man. So that all came from the last proving grounds that we ran. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best. We didn't talk much up until that point about, how much we get out of the missions and the training that we put on, but it's a lot. And I don't think any of us could have gotten a more, like you said, I mean, the fact that it came through those means is, yeah, I don't even know what to say about that, but I don't think there could have been a much more valuable of a lesson,
Right, yeah.
I mean, that dude, and honestly, like, we're talking about training with 3 of 7 project, and if, some people want to do that or think they want to do that, like, I could see, you hear us talk about these people, hearing about Jason and who Jason was, I mean, that would make people, not want to come train with us, I would think. I mean, because if you think about Jason, you're like, dude, that's the caliber of person that goes and trains with 3 of 7 project. Like, holy crap, I'm not like him. Yeah. I can't go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just thinking about it, like, the reason Jason was the way he was, like, he wasn't special because he trained with us. Like, he was a special dude because he's trained his whole life. Like, he spent his whole life trying to be better and dedicating it. You know what I mean? And like, we train with people at all different points. Like, it's the pursuit of being better than you are now.
Yeah.
And everybody's different level. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make a broader point of, like, it's more about the desire to be better, to improve on, heck, pick one aspect of your life, but all the aspects of your life. And, people are just at different points. Like, if you feel like you're not where you want to be, or I'm not like Jason, well, that's okay. Like, that's, you don't have to be. I mean, how do you get there? You train, and it don't have to be with us, but you try, you know what I mean? And once you get to Jason's level, what is he still doing? He was still training up to the end. You know what I'm saying? I didn't speak that super eloquently, but that's what I'm trying to convey, is just that it's
the personal aspect of every training thing that we do is the part I enjoy the most. That's what I gravitate towards. That's why I love the rock course so much, because there's way more time for personal conversation with the students. There is time for it for sure on the basic course and the proving ground as well, but there's a lot more for it on the rock. And that's, I got to talk to Jason a lot more on the rock, because he did the rock before he did the proving ground. And I actually was writing down some of the things that Jason had said. And it was interesting when me and Chad was riding to his funeral. You said, evidently he's pretty new to the faith or whatever. And I had been writing down some things that he had said at certain points, like some verses. So I don't know if he had them memorized or if he had them wrote down or whatnot. But that's just the part I love, like the personal aspect. Not only as some of it's selfish, because a lot of students that come, they're, whether they know it or not, are feeding into me as well. And a lot of these guys have become good friends of mine that I talk to on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or so on and so forth. So that's what I gravitate to as well. But the impact that Jason made to me on the rock was tremendous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's I love that about the way that we have structured our training is we are willing to take all comers. We haven't set up some sort of training where you have to be at a certain point before you come out and you try.
Yeah.
Because the way we run training is we expect the people who are stronger physically and mentally and who are more prepared to step up and help those who are at a different place in their journey and who may just be getting started. I mean, we want you to show up healthy. Like, don't show up, you know, with some really crazy heart condition or something like that. Like, if there's something wrong with your health, you know, you need to consult your healthcare provider before you show up, because you're going to be doing some strenuous stuff. But I mean, I've seen people complete the basic course at 300 pounds. And I'm like, how are you doing this? And we've seen people complete the proving grounds way overweight, like can't do a single push-up. But they get it done, man, because the people around them are the caliber of people who are going to step up and help them grow. And then they're going to grow because of it. So we want people to come who are really tuned up and you think that you're ready to crush this thing. And we want people to come that are scared to death because they've never done anything like this before, right? And we don't expect you to do it perfect. We don't expect that at all. Well, that was fun, boys. I enjoyed going back and reflecting on those things. And if you guys want to apply for any of these courses, again, there's an individual page for each one at 3of7project.com. We can attach them in the description of this episode. I don't know that the dates are out yet for Proving Grounds 2027 or late 2026, but those dates will be out soon, along with other ROP course dates and stuff like that. But you can go ahead and put your application in now, and we will have those in the queue for when the dates come out if you want to do that. So we love you guys. Thank you to all of you out there who have put it on the line, showed up to train. The majority of you showed up to train with us to do something you had no idea what it was, and you just simply trusted us to provide a real, meaningful experience for you, and you trusted us to not waste your time. And I hope that we have done a good job at that for all of you guys who have come and trained with us. I know we're not perfect. We're constantly improving. We're constantly adjusting. We have our own after actions reports after these missions that we try to make them better continuously for you guys. And we're going to keep doing this, man, as long as the Lord keeps sending us people like you guys, and he blesses us with the health and the ability to get out there and work with y'all and share these things with you. So thanks to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you got some good laughs and insight from this episode. Enough said.